Citywars Savage is a game that, well, exists. I decided to give the game's free beta a try, given the description's promise of a fast-paced voxel MMORPG, but what I experienced was definitely not that. Keep in mind that this is a beta and not the full, as-of-yet unreleased game, but I think beta might also be a bit of a stretch. In the beginning of the game, you're dropped into a series of voids, each one letting you customize one part of your character. The character creation I found is very limited for a game like this, with other similar games in terms of both the art style and the genre sporting a much wider range of customization options. After customizing my character, the game decides to weed out anyone with a weak heart, greeting me with a loud banging and even louder text-to-speech before the scene even finishes loading.
Whoa, that was a weird dream.
Unlike other games that feature either no voice acting or actual people voice acting, Citywars decided to go a different route, giving every line of words a text-to-speech pairing, whether it's someone saying it or reading a sign or just anything that puts text on the screen.
To craft a primitive tool, you'll need 1 stone and 1 branch.
This text-to-speech does get annoying very quickly. It would be a lot better if they had it as an accessibility feature rather than the default for the game. But a plus side of it is I did get to hear an NPC say my username, which was a pretty cool little detail. Usually, even games with text-to-speech kinda leave that out.
Good thing you were their misspelled Moos.
So, the game's tutorial consists of a quick screen telling you how to fight, and then just throwing you into a big fight, spamming the attack button until everything is dead. Oh, and speaking of spamming, it seems like that's really the extent of the combat in this game. When fighting an enemy, the combat consists of clicking the left and right mouse buttons as fast as you can until it dies, then doing the same thing over and over and over again. There are different kinds of weapons in the game, like swords and magic staffs and stuff, but every battle is easily won by just spamming those 2 buttons. It makes the combat get very repetitive very quickly. The platforming is also extremely basic, trying to challenge the player by making them press levers and, well, jumping onto the floor that appears. That's pretty much it. Not only that though, the enemies in this game only serve to make the experience even more bland. Like a serial killer in the making, most of the things you fight in this game are just small animals like crows and crabs, swinging your weapons wildly at the little creatures until they fall over dead. While the game is touted as an MMORPG, there doesn't actually seem to be any of the MM, at least in my experience. Throughout my whole adventure, I found only one other player that I think was real, and that was back in the character creation void. I didn't see anyone else while I was adventuring around at all. The rest of the game was a barren wasteland with scattered animals and goblins around, made even more desolate by the lack of most sound effects and ambient noise. That made me feel like I never even left that void in the first place. The game also features a gathering and crafting system that's sadly about as basic as the rest of the gameplay. While not a complete step back from other crafting systems, there's nothing setting this one apart from other games, and even this specific combination of genres, leaving this game feeling more like an early tech demo for something like Trove. Overall, I was sad to say the game felt like a shell of a product, more of a proof of concept rather than a beta, sporting all the minimum requirements for the genre, but not much beyond that. I feel that the developers should spend more time trying to make the game stand out from the crowd, rather than just throwing in popular features from other games and trying to make them fit together. I'll have to give the game another go when it releases sometime in the future, but at the moment I sadly can't even recommend trying the game in its current state. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. Please hit those like and subscribe buttons if you want to see more games content. This is a small channel, so every time those numbers go up, it helps me immensely. New videos will be up every Friday, so take care and I'll see you next week.